So I was thinking about this same guy that fought so hard to try to get me charged with corruption of a minor, which was, I'm speaking about my ex-wife, but she was my fiance at the time, when I thought she was carrying my child. But apparently, you can't have a child if you were born a female and turned into a male. Until now, that's going to be a miracle. That's coming. But right now, it never existed. So this whole city, this whole town, Sydney, Ohio, was all in on this. The same detective rooms that fought effortlessly to get a charge against me because I tried to establish legal rights to my daughter at the time that I thought was my daughter. Biologically, anyway. I still have much love for them. It's not about that. It's deeper than that. But this detective rooms, it got covered up. I can't remember my childhood. I can't remember my teens. Spell work just did a number on me. But here's the thing. This detective rooms is the same detective that was placed on the case against a guy named Steve Cooney, who molested me as a child. Nothing came of it. But the moment that, this detective had a chance to try to charge me, he was on it. And he was very angry that I had gotten a lawyer to get it dropped down to corruption of a minor, which is just asinine and ridiculous. First of all, it wasn't my child, and they knew it. And instead of dismissing anything, they charged me and charged me child support, knowing that it wasn't my biological child, because it was a strategy to rip my children away from me so that it could cause me pain and grief. It's unbelievable. Yes, it sounds something like out of a Hitchcock film. Of course it does. Or a Twilight Zone. Well, that's because it is, folks. I mentioned one other time that we think sometimes we see these things happen in other people's lives on the news all the time, but we never think it happened to us. Well, this happened to me and us. My name is John Benet Ramsey. World, you have to believe what I'm telling you. Or not. This is my cry out. Why do you think I'm doing this? I can't trust the police force or the corruption that's going on in my hometown. So I had to leave there over 9 months ago. And haven't looked back. There's been numerous plots on my life. Numerous poisoning attempts on my life. Because they know who I am. And they know that the moment it gets exposed, it's going to ruin the so-called king of the United Kingdom and the so-called billionaires. The Frenchman, Bernard Arnault, and his children that are involved with it. And all the secret societies that are involved and being paid by the king and Bernard and Harry. Whew. Excuse me, but this is serious. I just had an attempt on my life last night by five officers who pulled up, spraying me and gassing me when they pulled me over for a plate cover and gave me a $160 ticket. But I filmed them. I know they're intense because I can read their hearts. Halfway through the stop, they asked me to get out of my vehicle because one guy says he saw me clutching my bag, which I always carry under my arm. But when they got into my car, asking me if there's any weapons, and I said no because I'd forgotten that I have this, which I used to cut watermelon, cantaloupe, and pineapple with, was sitting right here. Didn't say a word about it. And he searched my car for a total of 12 seconds. That was all. But I called him out. I said, "You're not gonna frame me and put something in my vehicle." The moment I said that, you should have seen them. I got the video. They locked up. They got worried and concerned because they knew what they were about to do. You know who I'm talking about if you see this message. I want you to think with me for a moment, world. Sure, I told you I'm perfectly okay with you thinking I'm crazy. But, just like the example I gave to you, what if I'm not crazy? What if I'm not? What if what I'm saying is the truth? Because it is. And that town knows it. And so does every one of these Scientologist secret underground societies that have been following me, gassing me, stalking me for the last 3 years of my life that I know of, that I've paid attention to. Yes, I'm passionate because nobody's listening. Everybody thinks, well, this guy's just freaking crazy. Well, you know what? I'm not crazy. My name was John Benet Ramsey. Period. I've got gifts that are unexplainable. If that's what you want to fault me for, fine. I'll take it. But there's got to be one person out there that hears this story and will help me. You got to understand, I'm up against so-called strong towers. Something that seems impossible. But not when it comes to our faith in the Most High Divine. I'm not worried about it. I don't fear police. I don't fear people stalking me. That's not it. What I fear is the other people that this happens to. The lives that have already been taken. I'm their judgment. I'm their karma. And they know it. That's exactly why they're glued to me. They've hired practitioners across the world. People, and if you don't believe that Santeria and black magic and witchcraft exist, it means you're still sleeping. And that's okay. I was there too. Until I woke up to the truth. I experienced it in my own life. My own. I've seen things unexplainable with human words. I've seen into the spirit realm. I've conquered demons. I've stared them face to face and watched them breathing outside of my window in pure hatred and anger because they had a boundary that they couldn't cross. You will all find out this to be absolute truth. And I want to be on here giving you my word. Because when you see this come to light, and when all of the other angels that have suffered like us come forward, and this lawsuit happens, and the wealth that just a few had shifts. It's in one of the words, people. How'd you think it was going to happen? It was going to happen exactly like what I'm saying to you. Where the impossible, or seemingly impossible, becomes absolutely real and possible before the world's eyes. Then I don't want your sympathy. I don't want nobody to feel sorry for us. Because no matter what, our voice will be heard. And our justice will be revealed. Period. It is your karma to bear. King Charles. Scientologist. Illuminati. Masons. All secret societies. Listen, folks. Anything that needs to be secret, think about this. You gotta ask yourself, why? Why is it secret? It's because it's the only way that the few can control the many. We have come to tear this veil, dismantle the matrix. And that we will do. We love you, world. And until next time, we are indeed your queen.